My wife started hanging out with my coworker behind my back, says he makes her feel like a real woman. Then begs me to stay when I ask for a divorce. So, to start off, I don't really like using platforms like this, but I need to let this out and vent somehow, so here I go. I'm 33, and my wife, 30F, have been together for 11 years, and I thought everything was good between us until recently. For some context, I work as a dispatcher for truckers, and it's a pretty good job. I get good benefits, and I make enough where we can both be comfortable. My wife had a job building gaming computers, but she lost her job due to cutbacks, so I've been the sole earner, and I've been picking up a lot of hours. One day, my car battery died on me, so I had my wife take me to work. When we made it to the parking lot, I saw my coworker Andrew. I waved at him, and he walked over to say hello. That's when I introduced him to my wife, and she got out of the car to shake his hand. He looked at me and said, "You never told me that your wife was so beautiful." She blushed, and I laughed, not thinking about it, saying, "Yeah, I'm lucky to have her." Then we both walked into work after I kissed my wife goodbye. A few days later, I got my car running, so I've been going to work like normal. But during lunch, I couldn't help but notice my wife's car in the parking lot, so I walked towards it and saw her and Andrew talking and eating lunch in her car. I got upset but kept it cool and knocked on her window. She opened the door and said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you that me and Andrew were having lunch today together." Then Andrew said, "I hope you're not angry." I took a deep breath and said, "No," and I turned around and walked to my car because if I said anything else, it was going to start an argument. But I could feel my wife getting frustrated because I walked away like that. So later that day, when I got home, she blew up, saying that I embarrassed her in front of Andrew. I said, "Why do you even care, and when did you even start hanging out with him?" She said, "I'm a grown-ass woman, and I don't have to tell you anything," and then walked off. Since then, she's been distant, and I've noticed she's been on her phone more, calling and texting her friends, but I just know it's Andrew. But I don't want to accuse her and then be wrong and look like a fool, but at the same time, I want to say something. I don't know what to do. Update. I didn't think it'd blow up like this, but I'd like to thank you guys for the advice and support. I talked to my friend, and he gave me an Apple AirTag. I'm going to put it in my wife's car and trail her to see if I can find anything and collect evidence so I don't get taken advantage of in court if we do end up divorcing. But a part of me doesn't want to do it because I don't know if I can handle the pain. My wife and I have been through a lot, and I can't believe she's really going to throw it away this easily. But I'm still going to have to do it. I'll try to update again when I have the time. Update. Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I posted, but so much has happened during that time span, and I finally found the time to update. First off, I'd like to thank all of you guys for the support and advice. It really helped me. Quick recap. My wife has been hanging out with my coworker Andrew without telling me, and when I found out, she basically started getting distant from me, so I suspected that she's been cheating on me with him. When I started to suspect it, my friend gave me his AirTag, and I hid it in my wife's car and followed her. She told me that she was going to see a friend, but I didn't believe her, so I followed her in my friend's car to make sure she couldn't spot me. After a 20-minute drive, she drove up to a hotel. I'm not gonna lie, I felt sick, and my heart kept pounding. I was really hoping that I was wrong and that she was seeing a friend, but instead, I saw Andrew waving at my wife. Then I saw her running and jumping on this guy and kissing him. I was so hurt and angry. I wanted to get out and confront Andrew and tell my wife to get all of her crap out of the house, but I didn't. Instead, I took out my phone and took some pictures and drove off when I saw them walk into the hotel. I went home and cried, screamed, and yelled. I was feeling too many emotions at once. I called my friend, and he came over. I showed him the pictures and started crying again. I screamed, 11 years down the freaking drain. My friend gave me a hug and told me to get a lawyer and to keep stacking up evidence against her. I didn't know if I could keep up the facade anymore, but I told my friend I'd try. So during these past weeks, I've been stacking up evidence and keeping my distance. I've seen them go to restaurants, movies, and hotels, and every time it hurt, but I toughed it out. She always told me she was going out with her friends or family, but I never called her out and just said, okay. I thought I could keep it up for at least a few more days, especially because the lawyer I'm seeing said I have more than enough evidence to make sure I win and keep everything when we divorce. But I think I messed up yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, and I wasn't really feeling it. My wife didn't even tell me happy birthday, but her parents did. When I went to work, my coworkers got me a cake and some gifts. I tried holding back the tears because for a moment, I forgot about everything, at least until I saw Andrew. He got me a gift, and I faked a smile and said thank you. When I opened it, it was the comic, Batman, Death of the Family, and I was actually surprised because no one at work knew I was into comics and DC was my favorite. When I told Andrew that, he said my wife told him, and then all I saw was red. The next thing I knew, my coworkers were holding me back, and Andrew was in the corner covering his nose and yelling, "What the heck?" Then I screamed, "I know you've been fucking my wife." Everyone got silent and looked at Andrew, and he tried explaining it to me, but I didn't care. All I wanted to do was confront him until he stopped moving. But then my boss came in, sent Andrew home, and took me into his office. I told him everything and showed him some of the pictures. He apologized to me and gave me some time off to sort everything out, and he said he would deal with Andrew. Things really went south when I got home, and my wife was waiting. She blew up on me, saying that I was wrong for doing that to Andrew and that she talked him out of pressing charges for hitting him. She kept yelling and yelling, saying, "Andrew makes me feel like a real woman and treats me right and knows how to make me feel special." I finally popped and just yelled, "I don't give a crap." She looked surprised and went silent, and I kept going, saying, "If he makes you feel special, go live with him and have him support you because I'm done." Then she had the nerve to cry and say that she's sorry and tried saying how Andrew caught her at a moment of weakness. But I just took a deep breath and told her to get a lawyer because we're getting a divorce. She really tried to apologize and said that she can't afford one and that we need to work on us, but I just looked at her and told her to pack up. She kept crying and begging, but I just got her suitcase and called her sister to come pick her up. She locked herself in the bathroom, saying she wouldn't come out until I was willing to work things out with her. I kept telling her that I didn't want to work anything out and that we needed space because when I see her, I feel angry and hurt. She finally got out, apologized, packed her stuff, and waited outside for her sister. Now I'm finally in the house alone, and I can't stop crying. I feel so many things, and I just don't know anymore. I'm going to see my lawyer tomorrow. And sorry if I was all over the place with my post. I'm just feeling horrible and emotional, but I am planning on seeing a therapist soon. I'd like to thank everyone again for the advice and support.